Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Psalm 102 is a psalm about a person who is in deep distress. And whether it is an actual individual or someone personifying the actual nation of Judah is unclear, but nonetheless, it describes people or a person who is in great distress, great trouble. And what this psalm shows us is the way that people of faith should respond to distressful situations, and therefore teach us how we should respond to distressful situations. And one of the things that this individual does as they offer their complaints to the Lord is that very thing. They pray to the Lord. They take it to the Lord in prayer. In verses 1 and 2, it says, "Hear my prayer, O Lord, and let my cry for help come to you. Do not hide your face from me in the day of my distress. Incline your ear to me in the day when I call. Answer me quickly." So one of the things that we should do as people of faith when we find ourselves in distressful situations is take it to the Lord in prayer. And that sounds very simple, but it's something that we oftentimes forget. We're dealing with the situation, and it's pressing, and it's hard, and it consumes our thoughts oftentimes, and it consumes our heart to the point that we sometimes forget to even stop for a moment and offer up a prayer to the Lord and seek His help and His guidance in the situation. But another thing that people of faith do in distressful situations is be honest about their condition. Verses 3 through 11, we won't take the time to read them, but as you do your reading today, you'll read verses 3 through 11, and you'll see just how distressed this person was. He talks about his days being consumed in smoke, his bones being scorched like a hearth. He forgot to eat his bread. He was so distressed he didn't even eat. He felt like a pelican in the wilderness, and it goes on and on. And just a really, really hard time for this individual. But as this person is praying to the Lord, they're being very honest about their condition. They're not trying to gloss over it. They're not trying to ignore it, but being very open and honest with the Lord. And that's something that we should do as people of faith when we bring our situation to the Lord. It ought to be that we are very honest about how we're feeling, what type of emotions we're going through, how we're being affected by this particular situation. It's perfectly fine to be honest with the Lord. He already knows, but by us expressing it to Him, it shows that we are depending upon Him and leaning on Him in the situation. And then thirdly, people of faith in distressful situations take comfort in God's eternal nature. That's what this individual did in verse 12, where it says, "But you, O Lord, abide forever, and your name to all generations." And there it was contrasted with his own short life. He realized that his life, it had said in verse 11, were like a lengthening shadow, and he withered away like grass. But God is eternal. And that's something that can bring us comfort as we are dealing with these situations and recognizing the fact that they're just temporary situations. They're not eternal in nature like God is. And that because God is eternal, He transcends these temporary situations that we're in. And therefore we can take comfort in the fact that we are connected to a God who is eternal, who outlasts our lives, who was way before our lives even began. And to know that He has the broader perspective and being able to depend on Him and trust in Him in that way. And then lastly, people of faith who are in distressful situations are able to see beyond their own lifespan. In verse 28, here the psalmist says, "The children of your servants will continue, and their descendants will be established before you." Showing that this individual recognized that in connection to how God is eternal, God will be there when future generations come about. And to recognize that, my life isn't really just about me, but about future generations as well. And so God might be working in my life in such a way that might affect even generations to come. And so it's not for me to get all caught up in the temporary situation that I'm in, but to realize that there are benefits and goods that might come out of this situation that might go through future generations, depending on the situation. So these are some things that people of faith can do as they encounter distressful situations. They can take it to the Lord in prayer. They can be honest about their condition as they're taking it to the Lord. Take comfort in God's eternal nature and realize that they're not able to see beyond their own lifespan, but God is, and therefore they can trust in the Lord. So these are some things to reflect on as we read Psalm 102. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.